G'day guys, Ash Woodcock here, CEO and founder of RPM Hire. I'm here today to talk you through safe setup and pack down of our VMS board. A VMS board stands for Variable Message Sign, and one of my favourite products. It's how we started the business with 3 of these. We now have over 700. Let's go. We're starting from the position, we've just unhitched it from the vehicle. We've got the handbrake on, nice and tight. Follow me around and we're going to set the VMS board up. So in here, we've got a handle that we're going to pull out to extend the legs out. There's 2 different settings, but if you've got the room, pull it out onto the second one, rotate the leg down and wind it up until it's taking pressure on the leg. Come round, do that on all 4 corners. And whilst doing it, let's make sure the VMS board is nice and level. Not only does it look good, it's also the safest way to actually set up the VMS boards. All right, fantastic. We've got all 4 legs down. The VMS board's nice and level. It's now time to raise the mast. A little trick before you do that, unlock the sign rotation lock. Much easier when it's at ground level. So open up the control box. We've got a raise lower toggle switch here. So raise it up a foot or so. Turn the board around into your desired position. Then we'll come back and raise it the rest of the way. Much easier to rotate it while it's down at this level instead of when it's fully raised. We're around to the back of the sign here. We're just locking this rotation off. So it stops the head unit rotating around in the wind. So we're going to raise the board all the way up. When it hits the top, we're going to just come down a couple of inches. The mast is filled with hydraulic oil. Hydraulic oil heats up in high temperatures, so on a really hot day, you want to make sure there's a little bit of room in the cylinder to allow for the expansion of the hydraulic oil. Most importantly, we've got to lock this up with a padlock. Now we've set the VMS board up, we've got all the 4 legs down, it's nice and stable. We've raised the mast up to the correct position. It's facing the right way. We've got 2 things left to do. One is lock the trailer up using the wheel locks. Then we want to do what we call at RPM a final lap check, but really is just a final check that we've done everything correctly. So let me run you through that. So we have 2 wheel locks, one each side. We're undoing the padlock, and then we can poke this through the back of the wheel with one hand and secure it with the lock with the other. Do that on both sides, and now the trailer is locked up and secure. Let me talk you through the final lap. We're starting at one corner. We're going all the way around the trailer, checking everything that we've completed, every part of the VMS board setup. So I'm starting here, checking the leg has been extended, the leg is down and taking pressure. Our padlocks are all locked up, the wheel locks are through. Come around, check this leg, the extension, it's got pressure on it. Do the same. We're checking the wheel lock back here. Finally, the 4th leg. And then we've got our handbrake on and secure. We're now pretty happy the VMS board is set up safely. Okay guys, the pack down of the VMS board is pretty much the same as setting it up in reverse. However, if we do it in a systematic way, we can do this nice and quickly and get safely off the road as quickly as possible. We're going to start by lowering the head down, leaving about that much space so that we can rotate it around to the travel position. Okay, we've lowered the sign down to a nice workable position. So around the back, we lift up the sign rotation lock. It's all at ground level, so it's nice and easy to turn this around. And we're lining up the V with the notch in the front of the trailer. Once we've got that lined up, we can lock the sign rotation bar. And as we're lowering the VMS board down the final way, we just want to ensure that this snake, or this cord that holds all the electrical wires, is not going to get caught in any pinch points. And then lower it down, and it'll be nice and stable in that travel position. We can then lock up the control box and start packing up the legs and undoing the wheel locks. Same as before in setting up. So take the pressure off the leg, rotate it around 90 degrees, pull out the bar here, and we push this in until we hear the click, and just confirm that it's all locked in before you drive away. We'll go around, do all 4 legs. There we go. The last thing we do before we hitch it onto the vehicle is undo the wheel locks and safely secure them back under the trailer. So padlock on first, then we can put the wheel lock up, lock it away. Hooking up the VMS board to the ute, we'd much rather you bring the ute to the VMS board rather than the other way around. And the use of reverse cameras makes this really easy. I've got a reverse camera here that allows me to bring the tow ball directly under the hitch. If that is not possible, you can move these trailers around by hand. Of course, take the brake off, but much easier doing it on level flat concrete than when you're out on the side of the road, maybe on grass or uneven surfaces, which is why we much prefer you to bring the vehicle to the VMS board. Not too heavy, so I'm okay doing it in this scenario. So when it's lined up, we've got the tow hitch pulled up. We're just lowering the jockey wheel down onto the tow ball all the way, and we have to take the weight off the jockey wheel before we can rotate the jockey wheel round using that clip there. Rotate the handle and the wheel up. It just gives it a little bit more protection if you have to go over curbs or gutters. We've got our 2 safety chains. When we're hooking these up to the vehicle, we want to cross them over. So one at a time. Hooking them on, and then of course making sure this is hooked over and securing it with the R-clip. I pulled the brake off before. It's really important to make sure you flip this right over. If you don't, as you're driving along, it can bounce down and actually pull itself on. So flip that one right over. We've got the chains on, the hitch is secure, the jockey wheel is rotated around, and we've rotated the handle and the wheel up as well. Now all we need to do is connect the safety lights. Then we're going to do another final lap just to make sure everything is done. Here we have our trailer lead. We don't leave these with the VMS boards. So if you're en route to go and pick one up, make sure you bring one with you. Our trailers always have the round plug, and you may need an adapter to suit your vehicle. When you're connecting these, it's really important that you get the rotation of the plug correct. So there's a little notch in the bottom, and on the trailer, the vehicle, or the adapter, that'll line up with the notch in here as well. And it should connect nice and easily. If you have to force it, you're at risk of breaking it. And then the flat adapter goes in as well. One last tip, secure the lead because it's nice and long. Put it under the wheel, under the handle, and around the hitch, and make sure it's free from all the pinch points. Now, we're almost ready to go, but we want to make sure that we do one last final lap. The final lap was developed out of years and years of getting distracted during a pack up. So it could be a motorist passing by has beeped its horn. You get a phone call, whatever it might be. We've found by doing the final lap procedure, it means that we never miss a step along the way. So starting at one corner, we'll check the light leads, the hitch is secure, the safety chains are connected and crossed over. We're checking the brake is off, that is flipped around, the jockey wheel's up, nice and secure. We move around to each of the 4 legs, and we're at the same time also checking the wheel locks have been secured and taken off as well. As we're doing it, we're just pulling it out to make sure that it's clipped in and giving it a wiggle so it's not gonna rotate. We're checking the wheel lock is secure. Padlocks are done up. Checking the last one. We're almost ready to go. We just need to do a light check on the lights, then we're good to go. There we have it, guys. Thank you very much for watching our training video. If you'd like more information, head to our website, www.rpmhire.com.au, or give us a call.